Welcome, folks. My name is Jimmy Johnson, and this is The Jimmy Johnson Show. On the air with me tonight is Elisa Bergkamp, one of the creators of the Energy Storage and Transport Project. Hi, Elisa. Thank you for making time to be on our show.
The pleasure is all mine, Jimmy.
It must be an amazing feeling to see all the students working on your project.
It is, Jimmy. We've been working very hard toward this, and it's great to see the students at work now. I really hope that they can make the project their own.
I understand that the students really get the opportunity to define their own project.
Yes, they have to define their own sustainable energy supply and energy demand, and then they should come up with an energy storage and transport solution to model.
Sounds challenging. Can you give an example?
Think, for example, of a wind park at sea as the supplier and an industrial plant as the consumer. In that case, a solution could be to build a hydrogen plant near the wind park to convert electrical energy into hydrogen on windy days. The hydrogen would then need to be safely stored and transported to the industrial plant, and the hydrogen-based electricity generator needs to be built at the consumer site.
And then the students have to build the system they defined?
That would be nice, Jimmy, but I'm afraid that's a bit beyond the scope and exceeding the budget of this project. We want the students to outline how the energy storage and transport solution can be applied in the real-world setting, and to assess the market potential of their system. In the first stage of the project, they need to think about how they are going to model the system, so that they can properly plan the modeling process.
Isn't that very complicated for second-year students?
You will be amazed what they can already do, Jimmy, but of course they should take into account their competence level in the system they define. We want them to strike a good balance between making the project ambitious but also realistic. If they get that right, they will learn the most.
When you say they are free to choose their own supply and demand, can they do really crazy things, like try to extract power from the force and then try to deliver it to an air conditioning unit on Tatooine?
Haha, Jimmy. I love Star Wars too, but I'm afraid that would not be possible. We want the students to think about how the system would work in real life. It's also very important to us that there's clear time-dependent behavior in the system, and we want the students to experimentally validate parts of their model. Let's hope that the force is with our students when they come up with nice, realistic solutions.
You say the system should have clear time-dependent behavior. How would that work for the hydrogen example?
In that case, they could, for example, model the volume of hydrogen stored in some container near the wind park. They then need to model the electricity to hydrogen conversion process, which would then allow them to relate how the stored volume of hydrogen depends on the surplus of electrical energy over time.
And what about the experiment? Isn't it extremely difficult and expensive to build a hydrogen generator?
We are not expecting them to validate the complete system. Instead, they can focus on a downscaled experiment of some part of the system they consider. For example, on YouTube you can find videos of very simple hydrogen generators. That will be a nice and relevant experiment in relation to the hydrogen storage solution. But if a group instead wants to study the pressure in the container and how that depends on the inserted volume, that would also be fine. The students just need to motivate and explain why their validation experiment is relevant. And of course they need to comply with safety regulations.
And how do students know that they are on the right track with their project?
We'll help them with that by reviewing a pitch video that they need to submit by the end of the first week of the project. If they come up with a good idea in their video, we will give them a green light to proceed, and maybe some tips to take into consideration. And if we have concerns about their plans, we will contact them to discuss improvements to their project.
Are there any details regarding this video pitch?
Yes, all details can be found on our course page. Students should not forget to check the scoring rubric that we use for the video pitch.
Thanks, Lisa. It is all much more clear to me now. It was great having you on the show. I wish you all the best with your project.
The pleasure was all mine, Jimmy. I hope to see you soon as a participant in our project.
Haha, sounds like fun. I'll think about it. Bye-bye, Elisa.
Bye-bye, Jimmy.
That's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Take care and see you later.